Destiny! Destiny! Da-da-da-now! Hello everybody, welcome to my review of Destiny 2. Hey! Guys, this game is pretty good, right? There's pros and cons to Destiny 2. First of all, I'd like to just say that, see, before this game even came out, I was wondering why it had to be a sequel. In my head I was like, could this game not just have been another expansion? Could it not have just been like could they have not waited, worked for 2 years and made like really big expansion and just like here's like another, it's almost like another full game of Destiny again. And could they not have just added that as an expansion to the original Destiny? Because I mean, like, for all intents and purposes, guys, this game is just Destiny. It's just Destiny again. It's just like another game of Destiny. It doesn't feel like there was any real reason for them to actually go ahead and, you know, sort of hit the reset button and like, here's like another base game, you've got to wait for more expansions and all that sort of stuff. It doesn't feel like there's a purpose to that, at least on the surface. I mean, like, you've got considerations like, what does it mean to sort of like leave the last generation consoles behind? Like that would allow them to sort of improve on their engine and have the game look visually, you know, fidelity-wise better, probably run a wee bit smoother and things like that. And I'm sure the PC version of the game, when that comes out, that's going to look absolutely phenomenal. So, yeah. So, like, on the one hand, you've got like, here's like probably the reason why they made that sequel, so they can kind of like update the engine, make the graphics look better, make it look like a truly next-gen game, you know. But on the other hand, they can't monetize like shaders then, eh? Like, if it was just an expansion, they would get ripped a new a-hole for deciding to microtransaction like shaders and like make them one-use items and things like that. But if it's a sequel, oh, like we're doing shaders differently in this game, you know. That's their excuse, you know. So I mean, kind of polarizing. Like I'm kind of looking at it from both sides. I can see both sides of the argument, like for and against why it could have been and could not have been just an expansion, you know. But yeah, it's a good game though. I mean, Bungie have learned from their mistake from the launch of the original game. I mean, you can't release a game that feels like there's not enough content in it, especially if it's an online only game. I mean, if you're meant to be playing this game for months and possibly years at a time, you don't launch with like very little content. So what they've done is they've essentially learned from that, jam-packed the game with total tons of content. I mean, the storyline, if you mainline the storyline and just only focus on that, yeah, it probably feels a bit short, considering it's an online game, you know. You expect an online like story to last forever, but it feels like a good sort of maybe 10-15 hours worth of story. And then after that, there's, I mean, during that as well, I mean, you've got all the side missions, you've got like all these extra things that you can do. There's a lot of content here. Like if you compare side by side the original Destiny, without any expansions or anything like that, and compare it to Destiny 2, it's like night and day. Like the difference is definitely tangible. You can see it in terms of what's there for the players to play in Destiny 2. You'll not be disappointed with the amount of content, at least in the sort of base release of the second game. I mean, if there's one thing Destiny does well, is multiplayer. You can't go into this game with a friend and feel like you're having a bad time. I mean, even if it's just you and one other friend, you're going to have a blast playing this game. And that, I mean, that goes for the first game as well. Like I felt I felt the driving force behind Destiny, the success of it and why it's good, is because it's such a fun shooting game, but beyond that, you've got like this really fun sort of multiplayer component where you and your friends are leveling up at the same time. Like if you both start the game at the same time, you're leveling up at the same time, and it just feels like, you know, you're just having fun together. You're having this sort of shared world experience, you know. And yeah, I mean, football. There's football in the game. he's got goals and everything. I mean, so what about the story? What's the setup? What's the setup, Prime? Why is this game happening? Well, Cabal from the original game, the big sort of guys in the power armor that look like Warhammer 40,000 sort of soldiers, they're back. Their boss leader guy, his name's Dominus. He's come to Earth, and he's trying to subjugate the Traveler, the big sphere that emanates the light. He's essentially trying to capture the light, and he's trying to like sort of take the light for himself, because that's where that's how the Guardians get their power, eh? Like, I mean, the Guardians get their power from the Traveler. That's how they're able to constantly resurrect in that, because the light of the Traveler is bringing them back to life again through the ghosts. So, I mean, like, if we don't have that, and he has it, then he's going to be, like, this total crazy, all-powerful guy, eh? So that's the basic setup to the game. He's essentially trying to subjugate the Traveler, so he can have, like, all that light to himself. So I've went over how, like, it visually does look better, but, I mean, that's not saying much, is it? I mean, like, most PS4 games and most Xbox One games look really good already, you know? It's not saying much to say that, oh, this AAA game looks really good, because most AAA games do. The thing that really stuck out to me, though, in this game, was the sound. The music in this game, guys. The music, my goodness. It's got this ability to sort of build tension where it needs to, and it also has this, it bounds and bombast when you're flying about all these really crazy set pieces, all this total crazy action going on. The music is just done, like, I think that's the thing that stuck out to me most while playing this game, is the music in this one is just absolutely excellent. And even, like, some of the gun sounds, like, you're sitting there shooting a gun, like, it's been ages since I've sat down and thought to myself, man, that sounds like that gun sounds really good. And, yeah, it's just, like, the audio side of it is just, look at that emote. Look at that emote. Oh, I'm so angry. Like, my buddy Paul got that emote. I got a stupid dancing one. He got, like, one where you can actually eat a bowl of ramen. So, where does that leave us, though? I mean, is this enough of a change in Destiny to make you go from a PS3 to a PS4 just to play it? I mean, yes and no. I mean, I really liked the game. It's a great game, but it is just Destiny again, you know. There's not, if you're expecting this game to go into like a bold new direction for Destiny, like I said before, you might be disappointed, because it's not like this uber groundbreaking, like, you must own a PS4 to play this game. Like, I mean, technically you do, but I wouldn't go out and buy a PS4 just to play this. It's a good game, and it really is good, but don't expect massive changes, massive differences, and like it's subtle things. Like there's a world map in the game now, and you can set waypoints on it. Like, that's a quality of life difference. You don't have to go to orbit every time you want to change a mission. You know, you can just go to the mission when you're done the previous mission. You don't go back to orbit again. It's just like little things like that make the game quicker and easier to play, and it's just, I don't know. In the end, it would be down to you guys. I mean, like, I feel I had an awful lot of fun with the game. I'm still playing it. There's still a lot for me to play through, which is one of the best pros that I can actually give the game. Because, I mean, if you, again, side by side compare it to the original Destiny, there's way more content here. So if you bought the original Destiny, you can buy this one knowing that there's more to it, you know? That being said though, guys, thank you so very much for checking out this review. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Leave a comment. What do you think about the game? Do you like the game? I like it. We should team up sometime. Let's take down the raid together. The new raid that's coming out. Okay? Cool. Bye!